The spirit realm. What awaits after death? Death, one of humanity's oldest and deepest questions. Does life which brought us here truly end when the physical body ceases, or is it merely a passage behind a veil, opening the door to a deeper and entirely different level of existence? For thousands of years, mystics, prophets, and spiritual teachers have proposed various ideas about life after death. From ancient Egypt to Tibetan Buddhism and Sufism, many traditions suggest that the soul embarks on a continuing journey after death. But how does this journey begin? What happens when the soul separates from the body? These questions lead us into the mysteries of eternal life and the destiny of the soul after birth. The soul's departure, the moment life falls silent. The moment of death is often accompanied by silence. The body becomes still, breathing stops, and the heartbeat ceases. Yet, according to esoteric and hermetic sources, it is at this very moment that the soul awakens behind the scenes of the visible world. The body is a vessel closely tied to matter. It wears out over time and eventually stops functioning. But the soul housed within this physical entity is an energy with infinite potential. Death is described as an awakening for the soul, often a transition into a more lucid state of consciousness. Some witnesses, those who have experienced clinical death, report tunnels, beings of light, and a profound sense of peace. These experiences suggest that the soul moves from the physical plane to a new level of awareness. The in-between realm, a zone of transition and reflection. Immediately after death, one of the first stages the soul encounters is the in-between realm. This area is known by various names in different beliefs, Barzakh, Bardo, Araf, but its function is similar, a phase where the soul reflects on its life. Here the soul doesn't just remember the past, it feels the consequences of its actions. Every word, intention, and deed passes like a film before its eyes. But this is not merely observation. The soul also feels. It lives the experiences it caused others through their perspectives. This phase is a time for understanding, learning, and preparation. There is no judgment here. Instead, the soul judges itself, recognizing which lessons it learned and which ones remain unfinished. Spiritual guides. Silent protectors. We are not alone. Esoteric teachings say that each person is accompanied by spiritual guides throughout their life and even after death. These guides are described as angels, beings of light, or high-frequency energies. They appear at the moment of death, easing fear and offering direction. Some sources say they manifest in familiar forms, such as departed loved ones or divine symbols. Their primary role is to illuminate the soul's path. They do not dictate but guide, respecting the soul's choices and offering understanding and support. Reincarnation or Ascension, the eternal journey. After the review stage in the in-between realm, the soul faces a path or a choice to be reborn or to move on to a higher level of existence. The idea of reincarnation exists in many cultures, from India's Vedas to Plato's philosophy, Sufism, and even some Western esoteric traditions. If the soul hasn't fully learned the lessons of this world, it gains another opportunity through rebirth. Another path is ascension. According to some systems, if the soul has purified itself, learned deeply, and embraced the energy of love, it transitions into higher vibrational realms. Realms of light. In these dimensions, there is no concept of time or space. Existence is built solely upon love, unity, and deep wisdom. The structure of the spirit realm. Kingdoms of light and shadow. The spirit realm does not exist on a single plane. Ancient mystical sources describe it as multi-layered, stretching from lower realms to high levels of consciousness. The lower layers are saturated with energies like fear, anger, regret, and attachment. These are temporary stations for souls who resonated with such energies in life. Even here, the soul continues learning, gradually preparing to ascend. The middle layers are spaces of observation, learning, and transition. Here, the soul gains deeper understanding of itself and others. The higher layers are realms of pure light and love. In these places, duality, good and evil, darkness and light, no longer exists. The soul reunites, becomes one with the divine, with the universe. Some esoteric systems describe these realms as the true home. Conclusion: death is not an end. It is the doorway to the soul's eternal journey. As humans, death can frighten us because it's unknown, because it brings separation. But if we see this unknown as a journey, death transforms into a turning point rather than an end. The soul is eternal. It is not bound by the limits of time and space. Death is merely its transition from one phase to another. This understanding brings peace and encourages us to live more deeply and meaningfully. Let us remember, if the soul is on a journey, then this life, this moment, this day, is a precious part of that path. Living it with love, compassion, and understanding is the most beautiful step toward the soul's next phase. Toward eternity, the soul's journey in silence. The soul's journey does not end with death. It flows within an eternal transformation. Along this path, the soul seeks self-discovery, forgiveness, and a return to pure love. Each stage, separation, reflection, review, or ascension, forms the rhythm of the soul within eternity. Some return through cycles of rebirth, while others ascend to deeper realms, domains of light and wisdom. But ultimately, all souls converge in one place, the essence of truth. And this truth is nothing but the pure form of love, unity, and understanding. Life is a school, and death is a transition to the next lesson. The soul is an eternal traveler, ever learning, ever evolving, ever loving. Let us remember, death is not the end. It is the doorway to the soul's eternal journey.